friends, welcome back to my channel. The word of the month for February for me is love, and I thought I would pepper in throughout the month some favourites videos, so just kind of a little bit like we did with the Friday faves and fails in 2021, but I didn't want to restrict myself to having to think of something to talk about every Friday. Just when I have a selection of things that I really want to talk about, I'm going to throw one of these videos up. So these are things that I have been loving recently, and I have to kick off. Ever since I started using these, I've been like, can I do a whole video on these, or do I have to wait until I do a favourite? So I've waited, but I've been desperate to talk about them. So since I dyed my hair dark, this, I'm going to tell you the colour that I used, but I'll explain to you why that might be irrelevant in a second. It was nice and easy, I think medium brown. I showed it in a vlog. Anyway, I have been keeping it fresh with two products. John Frieda Midnight Brunette. I didn't want too much warmth because my hair clings on to any red tones, and I wanted to keep my hair kind of as neutral as possible. So I went for the Midnight Brunette because it's going to be kind of more of a cool tone. I truly never thought that any of these shampoos were really doing anything in the past, but this alone absolutely added depth to the colour of my hair, because as it was fading, because there was a lot of blonde under here, and it was fading quite quickly, I was noticing every single time I used this rather than a normal shampoo, my hair looked darker. So that was fantastic already. And then I found this in the bathroom, which I purchased specifically for Ella, my daughter. We dyed her hair super, super bright red before Christmas, and she went to school and they said, you're going to have to do something about that hair, it's too bright, which is another issue. Don't get me started. But I found a colour mask, because rather than dyeing her hair a completely different colour immediately, I thought maybe we could tone it down with like a brown colour mask. I found this Tresemme colour enhancing mask in dark brunette. It says, with colour pigments and argan oil, colour retention and nourishment for vibrant hair, full of shine between colourings. And it says in the back, one colour enhancing mask, dark brunette, has a... And it says in the back that it has effective colour pigments for longer colour retention without damaging your hair in just a few minutes. And you're supposed to leave it on for like 3 to 5 minutes, or you can leave it on 15 minutes for a deeper colour. So I found this in the bathroom and thought, I'm going to try that, because I bought that for her before I had dark hair. I thought, I wonder if it's any good, because it definitely seemed to tone down her hair, but it didn't make it brown from this super, super bright red. Anyway, I've used this, and I cannot believe how fantastic it is. Now, it's very similar to a colour in that you have to be careful not to get it on anything. You have to be careful with the towel that you use when your hair is wet, because it will leave marks, it will stain things. But I mean, my hair was quite faded yesterday, and I used it again. And this shine, which hopefully is showing up on camera, in the mirror, it's crazy shiny. But this shine is purely from this product. I let my hair dry naturally, and I just curled it before I filmed this video. But there's no, maybe if I'd blow dried it or straightened it, I would have expected a decent amount of shine. But my hair was so shiny when I woke up this morning, and I slept on it, it wasn't 100% dry. It should have been quite coarse, and definitely shouldn't have had this kind of shine. This stuff is amazing. So if they have it for the colour that you are right now, or if you're someone that wants to kind of play with the colour of your hair without the commitment, this is really, really fantastic. And I think if you had like blonde hair, you could probably play around with tone, especially if it was natural, but because I never think anything like this is going to come out of blonde hair 100%, because blonde hair is so porous, really absorbs things, and it's difficult to get them out. So I wouldn't say if you've got bleach blonde hair, put this on and you can be like a darker blonde temporarily, because it's probably never going to get back that brightness that you love. But if you do have kind of like natural hair or medium hair, I think you could play with these masks and get quite a different tone from something very non-committal. So they are honestly the reason that I'm filming this video. They were the highlight that I absolutely wanted to talk about. The second thing, I was going to wait a little bit longer. So this is, just bear with me, because I've only used these things twice, and I'm really happy with them. But because they're expensive, I do want to play with them separately to really pinpoint which of these things is working super well, because I've used them both together. So this was sent to me last week. It's the Sand and Sky Australian Pink Clay Smoothing Body Sand, and the Sand and Sky Tasmanian Spring Water Wonder Body Lotion. Now, first and foremost, I think this is not going to be for everyone, because it's a loose body scrub. I'm not usually into this kind of thing. It's very messy. I have to do it in the bath because I need the room to use this. And it is messy. It is. You can get like a clump of the sand, which makes it slightly easier. And then I wet that, I rub it between my hands, and I use it all over my body. It does leave a small amount of residue, not as much as like you would get with those scrubs that's like in an oily thing anyway, but it does leave some kind of residue behind once you've washed it off. So there's obviously something oily within that product. Then I shaved my legs and I used this, the Wonder Water. And between them, I mean, as a set of products, these are not cheap. I have found a good deal where I think you can basically get both for the price of one. If that's still available, I'll link it for you below. Currently, I suspect this is the Wonder product. I've spoken ad nauseum about how quickly the hair on my body and my face grows. I mean, probably the hair everywhere, even now, because my hair does grow quickly. But if I shave in the morning, I'm stubbly by the evening. And that goes from my legs to my chin. It is infuriating. I am, cursed / blessed with this problem. And so whenever I find something that helps to extend my shaved leg feeling, I have to talk about it. And this, 2 days. 2 days before I had any kind of stubble at all. Twice I've used this. Both times I've used them together. Both times I had exactly the same experience. And that is just so abnormal. I cannot tell you. I used a different razor both times just to see. And next I want to try this with a different body lotion and this with a different scrub to see whether or not I can isolate which of these is the actual magic product. But for now, I'm telling you, I really like both of them. And currently, if I found them on offer, not full price, I just couldn't do it. I think if I had to buy one, I would probably buy the body lotion. Also smells amazing. Oh, I've got it on my nose. It's like, I'm not sure what the scent is, but it's really familiar. It reminds me of something else, kind of maybe a grapefruit smell. It's a very familiar scent to me. But I would probably buy the body lotion, assuming that this is the magical thing. And I also did put the lotion on immediately. I got out of the bath, dried myself, just patted myself dry, but then immediately put the body lotion everywhere. And that is part of the key. You can't let your skin dry 100%. You want to lock in that moisture while you're still where your skin is kind of still damp. Not wet, but damp. You know, that like plump skin that you get when you get out of a hot bath. I would currently buy this one. I would buy both of them if I found them on sale. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know my findings. Speaking of oils, I also rediscovered this recently. I couldn't find it anywhere, and it was in the bathroom, which is weird because it's shower oil. This is the second one of these I've had. I was sent one about 2 years ago, and I savour it because they're not cheap. I mean, they're much cheaper than the bath oils for aromatherapy stuff, but this is the De-Stress Calm and Focus Rich Oil to Milk Body Cleanser, and it's a shower oil. So basically you put it in the palm of your hands and it's an oil, and then on contact with water it becomes kind of like a milk. What I do with this is I put a little bit in the palm of my hand and then I breathe it in. I'll get the shower really nice and hot and steamy, and I'll breathe it in, and it is incredibly effective at de-stressing. If I'm going to take a shower just before I get into bed, this is when I use this. I would never waste it on anything else. I use it there. And then I just put it here. I use it on my body, like on my upper body, my arms, my chest, where I'm going to continue to smell it in the shower, and I can still smell a little of it lingering on my skin when I get into bed. And it also obviously hydrates because it is an oil, but it's mostly that kind of decadent, luxurious aromatherapy experience in the shower. That is why I love this so much. I think I'm going to try a different scent next. I'd quite like to try one that's more energizing for a morning shower to see whether or not I like that as much. The last thing I want to talk about is super basic. It's the Dr. Jart Ceramidin Cream Moisture Retention Shield. So I discovered this when I was Googling because I was using I did mention this in my Tresemme video, my Skin and Me 6-month update. But I discovered this when I was looking for something to replace my Pixie Ceramide Cream. I would still buy that Pixie Ceramide Cream. I think it's fantastic as a day-to-day moisturizer. Really soothing, really hydrating, very lightweight. But if you're looking for something that's very soothing, like you've got super sore skin, like it's flaky red, everything you put on it stings, this is really great because it's thick. I'll show you the texture of the product because I don't have the Pixie one now to compare it with, but this is almost like a balm by comparison. That was like a kind of almost gel cream. But this is really kind of balmy. It's much, much thicker. And although it does absorb, it doesn't absorb as quickly as the Pixie one did. This I really, really like. After I've used my Skin and Me subscription, which is the Tresemme, if I'm feeling a little bit tight, which often I am, I'll put this on. And like I say, it does absorb. It's absorbed nicely into my hands. But the way that I put it, also smells really nice. The way that I put it onto my face, I'll put quite a thick layer on, try to massage it all in, and then I'll just leave it because it just feels almost like a comforting blanket for my face. I've been reading a little bit about slugging recently. I'm not 100% sure whether or not I'm into it. My friend Charles messaged me because she watches loads of TikTok, and she said, you got to try this. Everyone's doing it. It's basically like putting a layer of Vaseline on your face after all of your layers of skincare to like lock in all of the stuff so it doesn't evaporate into the air. It like all the nutrients absorb into your skin. It's interesting, and I think everywhere else on my face I would do it. I'm not worried about clogged pores. I'm not someone who has a ton of breakouts. The breakouts that I tend to get now are hair removal related. That is the only issue, is that I don't then want to like mess in an area where I've removed hair. I would have to make sure it was a day when I hadn't done that. The only thing that does concern me is the eyes. I remember seeing so many people talk about not putting heavy things, like there are certain products that you wouldn't want to put underneath your eyes because they'd be too heavy, and then the skin would absorb those things, and that's what creates eye bags and things. There are definitely things out there that tell you not to put heavy creams. Like eye creams are very lightweight for a reason, because that skin is much more delicate and it can't absorb these heavy things. Am I imagining this? And I know that the skin wouldn't absorb Vaseline, right? It's more of a barrier. So is it going to cause the same problems? I don't know. Everyone that I have seen talking about slugging is under 30. So I'm just not sure yet. But I would be interested in your opinions, in your experience, because I'm tempted to give it a go, even if only for an experiment for a video. But, well, number one, I want to know, would you be interested in that? And number two, do we think it's a good idea? I don't know. Anyway, that is it for today's video. I just wanted to show you kind of a handful of things that I am so enjoying right now. Let me know if you like this kind of thing, and I will maybe kind of just like pepper them in throughout the year, but especially this month, I want to focus on all the good stuff, all the stuff I really love, and just try and inject a little bit of joy back, because I've felt so wintry, low and dark recently. Honestly, I just need some light, I just need some joy, I just need some love.